Hi, my name is Stephen Hawking and I will be your examiner today. Can you tell me your full name, please?
My name's IELTS.EZ.
Okay, good. Can I have a look at your ID, please?
Here's my passport.
All right. Very well. Do you work or study?
I'm working as a shop assistant near where I live.
Do you like your job?
Yes, I do. Although it's just an entry-level job, it helps sharpen many of my skills, and I find that very beneficial.
Is it related to your future career? And why?
No, not really. My lifelong plan is to become a lawyer. Working as a shop assistant can only help me in the short term.
Oh my god. I love your voice so damn much, IELTS.EZ. Can I have your signature later on? Please.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Hawking. But, shall we continue with the test, please?
Of course, we should proceed with the IELTS test. But please, don't forget about the signature and the mobile number. Hee 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 hee. Alright. Very well. Now could you tell me about a typical family in your country?
Well, Vietnam is a very traditional Asian country, so you may still see families with 2 or 3 generations living together. And that means children, parents, and grandparents living in the same house. The bond between family members is often really strong. You may also see that families often pay a visit to other relatives, or have casual gathering at times to strengthen the relationship.
How many hours do you sleep in a day?
I normally need around 9 to 10 hours of sleep. It doesn't sound much, and I still don't know why I need that much sleep.
Do you perform better when you sleep for an hour during the day?
Certainly not. I don't think my brain can function properly with 6 hours of sleep, let alone stay awake with 1 hour of resting.
Are you good at timekeeping?
Well, I must admit that I'm not a punctual person. I often left things to the last minute and be late for appointments.
How do you manage your time?
I would say that I don't do it properly, although I have a phone and watch with me all the time. I just can't seem to be aware of the time. Whatever the situation is, I was late for my final exam once, just because I was having breakfast and totally forgot about the time.
How did you learn to manage your time?
I haven't been able to do that, to be honest, but I'm trying my best to fix that. I'm planning to set an alarm for basically everything that I need to do to improve my punctuality and my time perception.
Okay, now I will give you a cue card which contains a topic. You will have 1 minute to prepare and 2 minutes to present your answer. Your topic is, describe an event in your childhood that you remember. Please say, what was the event? How old were you then? And what did you do during the event?
After 20 years of living, the most memorable event in my childhood was when I got lost while travelling with my family to the beach. Well, I must admit that I've always been a naughty boy, even until now. It was about 10 years ago when our family decided to get away from work and let off some steam at a secluded beach. When we first arrived at the beach, we took some time off to enjoy the view before we got to the hotel. Right at the moment we stepped down from the coach, I quickly ran to an ice cream truck nearby because it was the first thing that caught my attention. It was so cool, so colourful, and was playing a really catchy melody. And after buying the ice cream I wanted, I continued walking to a playground not too far from there. I was so playful at that time that my mind was full of games and nothing else. I remember wandering around the playground for about 10 to 15 minutes and socialising, competing with other kids, and having so much fun. My father was the first one to notice my absence and was so terrified about it. He started shouting my name, and everybody else also began looking for me. All of them were so worried, and they finally found me half an hour later. My dad gave me some awful spanking right the minute he caught me, and that was the moment I find most memorable, even until now.
What age a person becomes an adult in your country?
In Vietnam, I think the law requires a person to reach 18 to be considered an adult.
What do you think is the age a person can become totally independent?
I don't think this question has a definite answer. It all depends upon a number of factors. Well, firstly, everybody is brought up in a different environment. Some might be more mature than the others of the same age, and some might be more childish. And it also relies on the element of culture as well. In Western culture, individualism is encouraged, and children show their ability to live independently from a very young age. But when you compare it to Asian countries and cultures, especially in Vietnam, people still live with their parents even after they graduate from university. Yes, it is that bad. So again, I would say that it is really hard to tell.
Do you think roles of men and women are the same today as they were in the past?
I am certain that the roles of both genders have changed significantly. It is obvious that the world today has become more balanced in terms of gender equality. We can clearly see many of the great contributions of women. Many of the great contribution of women to the society in terms of science and politics, whereas men can be seen taking care of domestic problems, such as cooking and cleaning. Personally, I think this is a beneficial trend, as we have the freedom to do whatever we are good at, regardless of the gender.
What do you think children should learn, and why is it the case?
I think, apart from what is taught theoretically in school, children should also be encouraged to explore their inner self and own ability. They need to know what they really want and what they are good at. If children have a high level of self-awareness, or in other words, they know what they can and cannot do, then certainly they can make a better and more effective decision later in life.
Should boys be treated the same way as girls?
In most cases, yes, because it simply promotes gender equality and can certainly mean that both genders have the same opportunity to express themselves or to develop. But because there is a fundamental difference between the two genders, we should acknowledge that sometimes they should be treated differently from each other.